Let's switch over now to the Republicans. The numbers there in the horse race question are Donald Trump at 23, Ben Carson at 18, Scott Walker and Ted Cruz at 8, and Rubio and Bush at 6. So Trump is on top. He's been that at other places. But what struck me was his numbers on the favorability rating.
Yes, a few months ago, he had the highest unfavorables of anybody. Sort of Chris Christie was in that league with him, and people said, "Well, he can't possibly do any better in the horse race because his unfavorables are so high. Can you really ever turn those around?" And I said, "You know, we've seen everything happen, and we certainly saw it happen this time." He now has 7 people with higher unfavorables than he has, and that includes Jeb Bush. So he has grown his favorability, and it's turned into votes.
Yeah, I mean, he was toxic before, my word, and now Republicans have warmed to him. Now, Ben Carson, you couldn't think of a candidate who's any more different than Donald Trump, right? Self-effacing, quiet, but he's coming up strong in Iowa. Is he sort of the slow and steady kind of Rick Santorum, Mike Huckabee candidate that we've seen in previous races?
I think he sort of is the Huckabee version of that. But he also has made a real presence, kind of a quiet presence, I'll say. So nobody is really doing much on television, but he has billboards quite everywhere. So Ben Carson is in your community, really, on a pretty widespread basis. He was drawing last year. He was drawing packed crowds. So people know him. He has a book out that you trip over them because they're kind of everywhere. So there's a lot that people are finding that they like. Now, he's also not an establishment candidate. And if you take the numbers who support Trump, the numbers who support Carson, the numbers who support Carly Fiorina, that's 46% of the vote right now. You can add Ted Cruz if you want, you quibble with that. That puts it over 50%. That says something about the mood.
Yeah, and what is the mood? What does it say about Jeb Bush?
Jeb Bush's numbers don't look very good here. He's dropped in terms of support. His favorability numbers are not looking like, he's not making improvement in Iowa. And I think by the time we're heading into September, he's been at it for a while, you would be looking to be gaining some traction.
And then just quickly, Scott Walker, Iowa was supposed to be his state. What's happened to him?
Well, I think everything's been a little bit quieter since Donald Trump jumped in for everybody else, number one. But number two, I think he's just not out there in a big way, in a big presence. So his support has been cut in half.
All right, Ann Selzer, thanks so much for being with us.